Hey guys, long time no see. So before we get started with this video, first I want to go ahead and give a big thanks to ARH Automotive. They're the ones that helped me get the parts I needed to get this done. Um, Basically, I didn't have to do the footwork, just gave them a couple of part numbers and they found who had them and got it on my way. So, thanks guys. Reason for this taking so long, basically, the whole 19 thing kind of put a big damper on everything. Uh, so as far as ordering the clutch, no one had it in stock. ACT had to make it. ACT is located in California, therefore they had some manufacturing delays. So what originally was supposed to take like 3 weeks ended up taking like 2 months instead. But it's whatever. It's no big deal. The circumstances that are out of everyone's control. Uh, I could certainly be going through far worse things than having my car down. So, anyways, yeah, parts are in. Let me show them to you, and we'll get on with the rest of the video. This was basically the holdup here. Was this guy, this clutch disc? They just didn't have it in stock, and so it just took forever. Yeah, the pressure plate's just a standard Mazda Miata pressure. Well, not standard. It's the ACT extreme pressure. I forgot what they call it. They have a name for it. PPL Extreme. I don't know what L stands for, but anyways, PPL Extreme is the nomenclature they decided to give it, but it's their extreme pressure plates, the strongest pressure plate the ACT offers, aside from their twin disc stuff, which is a completely different thing. But so anyways, and this disc is just their street, or they're not street, but yeah, their race street kind of ceramic metallic pressure plate, or their ceramic metallic disc. This one's actually, it's for a Toyota Helix or a Toyota pickup truck. I think you can use it like any of the, like, it's the same spline. It's a 21 spline center that's like 1 7/8 or something like that. Some weird thing. Very low production. Not a lot of places make it, so it's not an easy thing to come by because it's not a popular clutch. It's not a the disc that this is for isn't a very popular platform, I guess. So manufacturers tend to not have thousands of them sitting on shelves. Anyways, kind of babbling and whatnot. So I'm gonna go ahead, get all the stuff together. Got the pressure plate machined. Have some light surface rust on it because it's been sitting for a couple of months. Not sure what I'm gonna do about that. I might take like some 1000 grit or something to see if I can get that off. And then we'll get around to getting this all back on the engine and the engine back into the car. Alright, went ahead and took some brake cleaner and some like 2000 grit sandpaper and very lightly rubbed the surface of this to get the surface rust off. So I got the majority of it off. I think I got a good deal of it off. Enough so that when I wipe my hand or wipe a rag across it, it doesn't leave the rag dirty. So all that's off. So I'm going to go ahead and get the engine positioned, and then get the flywheel back on, and then get the clutch on and all that stuff. Probably won't talk a lot, probably won't film it, because you've seen this type of stuff before. Alright, so an important thing to do if you're reusing your flywheel bolts, which I am because these are ARP bolts, make sure you clean the threads as the best you can. You're gonna take a steel brush to them and get all that old thread locker out of there, because that will definitely strip things out if there's still a bunch of gunk in those threads. So like I said, try and clean them the best you can. I'm setting this to the lowest setting just to drive them home first to make sure they don't, bog out on me. You know, I want to strip them out. Don't worry about stripping those out because this doesn't make anywhere near enough torque to hurt those. But I will torque them to spec. So torque spec, 75 foot-pounds. Apparently that tiny impact is enough to torque that down. For some reason I thought they were like 90, but apparently, yeah, they're only like 70 something, so. It's a nice train. Battery's about to die. So I'm gonna get this tightened down. You know the procedure. Just keep crisscrossing until the plate's all the way down. You don't want to do one side at a time because then you'll break the pressure plate. So check back in with you in a few. Alright, so this is day 2. Got the transmission, made it back to the engine. Basically ready to drop back into the engine bay. It is incredible how much the heat affects your ability to work. Like, I really thought I was going to come out here and have this all back together in a couple of hours, because when it was cold out, I could do that. But, God, with that heat, man, just getting that transmission made it back to that engine took it out of me. I mean, it took me like 3 hours just to get it together. And so yeah, I think just my goal for today in this video is just to get it back in the engine bay. Oh, a little burpy there. Get it back into the engine bay and get it bolted down. I do have to make a couple small modifications. When I put these bolts in, I thought they would be long enough, and they really aren't. They're just barely, like with a washer, there's just barely enough thread. So I'm gonna grind these bolts out and weld some longer studs in there. Yeah, got some longer studs that'll go in there. I think they're bigger too. Didn't realize that. That's whatever. I think it's the same size. Yeah. But anyways, yeah, I'm gonna grind those out, put those bigger studs in, and then I'll go ahead and lift this guy up and get it back where she belongs. Alright, so, yeah, that's done. Next up, get this guy back in the engine bay. Not a lot of talking, so let's get to it. Easy, easy. Whew, okay. Alright, so engine's back in the bay. Got most of it hooked up and whatnot. Not a whole lot more to go, but probably won't finish it this week. I'll probably finish it next weekend because I'm in no real rush. You know, the weather's kind of shit now. It's super hot, so I'm not really in a rush to get to the track right now. And it rains every single day, so every day it gets rained out. So I'm not gonna rush to get this back together. It's just, it's hot, and I don't know, I just don't really feel super motivated to do it. I mean, I'm kind of whatever. So yeah, I just gotta button up a few things and then get it back together, get it running, and take it for a test drive and all that stuff. But for now, I'm just gonna go ahead and end this video, and I'll pick back up on the test drive or whenever I decide to do it. I don't know. So anyways, till next time.